I want to talk about why Jesus took 5 loaves of bread and 5 fishes from a boy. There are so many people around there, over 5,000. That means he had a lot of people an opportunity to take from somebody else's, but he chose a boy. Throughout the Bible, I've noticed how the kingdom value often stand in contrast to the value of the earth. Worldly value focus on things like power, wealth, status, and immediate gratification, but God's value are rooted in humility, love, mercy, and eternal perspective. Above all, the greatest difference is the earthly value are temporal and limited, while the kingdom value is perpetual and unlimited, going beyond our time and space, going beyond our understanding. As Christians, we must remember that the core value of Jesus' teaching focus on the spiritual value first, not industrial or worth. Today's passage tells us that Jesus valued children as individuals who could work together with him to feed 5,000 people. It was a very different perspective from the other people thought about children. Most people in biblical culture tend to view children as individuals who were not developed enough to contribute to labor, to helping their family value, or not mature enough to discern God's will. They often say children are nuisance, like a little stinker. However, today's passage is clear that Jesus saw children as having deep spiritual potential, capable of sharing true spiritual value just as adults. Jesus recognized the spiritual value of children and wanted them to come to him to have meaningful relationship with him. Do not undermine their spirit. God used for them to teach us, parents, even grandparents. That is a value in children that we have. God uses many different people around us as his messengers, as children are some of his favorite. We can learn from our children the will of God. We should remember that children are not spiritually inferior to their parents before God. They are created with the same spiritual value as an adult and should be respected for their dignity as a child of God. In other words, parents must recognize their children's spiritual needs and respect their right to have deeper relationship with God, no matter how old they are. It is a Christian parent's responsibility. If you have a child, if you believe that it's God's giving you as a gift, you have a responsibility. Take them to have a proper relationship with God, because it's not your own, it's God's precious child. Don't separate them from God and them. I saw a funny yet meaningful church sign in Facebook. It said to the parents who are trying to get their kid to play sports on Sunday morning, your kid has a 0.0296% chance of being a personal athlete, even though you are training hard for them. But your kid has a 100% chance of standing before Jesus Christ. Take your kid to church. Give them a chance to have a good relationship with God. The Bible also speaks of benefits of spiritual training. For physical training is of some value, but godliness has a value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. It gives an idea how we raise our children. John chapter 6, verse 4 and 13 tell us the story of Jesus feeding a large crowd with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes that were provided from the hands of the boy. It has a meaning why Jesus took from the boy. This story was 2 spiritual lessons for all of us today. The first lesson is that God uses children as the messenger to help their parents and other grown-ups to grow spiritually in Christ. They are a good tool that Jesus Christ utilized them to help parents' generation. Still, he does. The second lesson is that our children have the same spiritual value before God, just like adults have. They too need to continue to developing their relationship with God. And it is the parents' responsibility to help them so they can stand before God as true worshipers.